Hello everyone and welcome back to SAT Math Tutoring with Rin. So today will be the final part of the first math module of the first practice test. So today is specifically part 7, question 26 and 27. 26 and 27. And well, if you're interested in how I got a perfect score on the SAT Math, well then continue watching. So let's go on to the first question, number 26. 2x plus 3y equals 7. 10x plus 15y equals 35. For each real number r, which of the following points lies on the graph of each equation in the xy plane for the given system? So the first step is to recognize that these two equations are similar. There's the same thing. We know that because when you multiply the first equation by 5, you get the second equation. So 2x times 5 is 10x. 3y times 5, 15y. 7 times 5, 35. Since when the since when you multiply the first equation by 5, you get the second equation. These two equations are therefore similar. So they will have the exact same graph. They'll have the exact same points on that graph. So we can just focus on the simplified version. So this first equation, 2x plus 3y equals 7. We can just ignore the second equation. So what we can do next is determine the x value of the index value because we're trying to determine the points on the graph. So x, comma, y. We can first determine the x coordinate. So 2x plus 3y equals 7. We want to isolate the x. So we can first, subtract the negative 3y, subtract by the 3y on both sides. So you're left with 2x equals 7 minus 3y. You want to then isolate the x, so you divide by 2 on both sides, leaving x equals 7 minus 3y over 2. Now, you want to actually put that into the, x comma y format. But before you do that, you want to realize that in the question, it says for each real number r. That means that, y is equal to r. This r would replace the y. So when you plug in the 7 minus 3y over 2 as x value, you would then replace the y with r. And the y value will just be r. So this is your final and this is your answer for this question. This is going to be the point. This is going to represent the point on the graph. However, the problem is that this is not one of the answer choices. But when you mess it around a little bit, you'll realize that the 7 minus 3r over 2 can be rewritten as negative 3r over 2 plus 7 over 2. And that's comma r. So the only answer choice that has this is B. Negative 3r over 2 plus 7 over 2 comma r. So to recap, what you first do is recognize that the two equations are similar. They're the exact same thing. So you can just focus on the simplified version. You then want to isolate the x, which is 7 minus 3y comma 2. Plug that into the xy format with y being r. R is the new y. And then, since this is not one of the answer choices, you want to mess around a little bit to get to B. negative 3r over 2 plus 7 over 2 comma r. And that'll be your final answer. So let's go on to the last question of this video. The perimeter of an equilateral triangle is 624 centimeters. The height of this triangle is k, comma, k multiplied by the square root of 3 centimeters, where k is a constant. What is the value of k? So the first thing we can do is actually identify what an equilateral triangle is. An equilateral triangle is a triangle that has the same length on every side. So we can represent the length of one side as just x. So x is the same on every side. Since so the sum of all of these sides put together will be 624. X plus x plus x, or 3x, will give you 624. So to find the length of just one side, you can just do 624 divided by 3, which is 208. So the length of just one side, or x, is 208 centimeters. Now that you found the length of just one side, we can actually find out what the height of this triangle is. So we can do that by using this formula. H, or the height, of an equilateral triangle is the square root of 3 over 2 times x, x being the length of just one side. So that means that the height of this equilateral triangle is the square root of 3 times 208 over 2. We can simplify this by doing 208 divided by 2, which is 104. So your height of this triangle is 104 times the square root of 3. Now, when you look at the question, it tells you that the height of this triangle is k times the square root of 3. So that means that k times the square root of 3 has to be equal to 104 times the square root of 3. These square root of 3's cancel each other out, leaving k equals to 104, which is your final answer. So to recap, you first want to identify what an equilateral triangle is. So the length, so all sides have the same length. Then you want to divide the perimeter by 3 to get the length of just one side, so 208. You then plug that into the height formula to get 104 multiplied by the square root of 3. Since the question provides that the height is equal to k multiplied by the square root of 3, the square root of 3's cancel each other out, leaving k being 104. And that is your final answer. I hope this video was helpful. And this was the last question of the first math module. So starting from the next video, I'll be focusing on the second math module of the same practice test. So I hope you will look at that as well. And I hope this was helpful. So see you next time.